Good evening, everyone. My name is Lim Song Xian, and as the chairperson, I would like to welcome and thanks everyone who participated in this meeting today. Before that, I would like to introduce everyone in the group. From Team A, we have Project Manager Intan, Project Assistant Mr. Chan Jun Yang, Project Secretary Shafika, and Member Ng Yu Chi. From Team B, we have Project Manager Ashwini, Project Assistant Suvitra, and Project Secretary Shahira. As per our last meeting, I asked both groups to find suitable volunteer projects and state the description of the project, alongside with the promotional plans, operational costs, and anticipated results. Is there anything that I have missed?
No, Mr. Chairperson.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chan. Before starting, I believe everyone had received the agenda, which is sent to everyone's email. But in case any of you missed it, I will now read out our agenda, which is started by greetings and openings by the chairperson, confirmation of minutes of the last meeting, project proposal by Team A, project proposal by Team B, clarification of project by both group, discuss decision of project to be initialized, and closing of the meeting. The purpose of the meeting today is to discuss the ideas provided by both teams and to determine the project to be initialized. Before we start, I would like everyone to mute the mic when not presenting your ideas to prevent interruption of the meeting. So, without further ado, let's now proceed with the proposal of Team A.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Hello, everyone. My name is Intan Fatini, and I am the project manager of Team A. I would like to propose the Save the Water Victim project, which involves the water victim in Klang Selangor. I will explain the details about this project. As we all know, severe floods occurred in mid-December last year that affected 8 states across the country. It was the worst flood that happened in the country in terms of displaced residents, which involved more than 71,000 residents since the 2014 floods. Widespread damages were reported in the affected states, especially in Selangor. So we decided to choose the target community in Klang Selangor to hold this project. This project will be held starting from 1st February until 5th February 2022 with a duration of 5 days. We are going to collaborate with 3 NGOs. We are collaborating with Mercy Malaysia Flood Fund Relief, which plays the role of distributing hygiene kits to the victims in the evacuation center. We also collaborate with MyCare's Emergency Flood Relief, which will provide temporary shelter and fresh water in flood-stricken areas. And the last collaborator that joined hand with us is Lotus Shahalam and Damansara, which will provide food, drinks, and basic necessities for the victims. This project is proposed to be carried out to help the flood victims by gathering donations from the community. This project is expected to help raise awareness of the community to the flood victims, and at the same time, we are seeking for Good Samaritan helpers or organization in compensating the loss of the victims. Therefore, I would like to propose the Save Water Victim project to be held. That's all from me. Next, I would like to invite Mr. Chan Jun, the project assistant from Team A, to present the goals and objectives of this project.
Thank you, Ms. Intan. Now I am Chan Jun Yang, and I would like to discuss the goals and objectives of our proposed project. So for the first goal of our proposed project is to seek donations and supplies, including funds, food, clothes, and daily supplies to the victims. Our main objective for this goal is to create online donation page on social media such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter for fundraising. Besides that, our team also has an objective to set donation center all around Malaysia. The objective was made in the hope of collect more donated supplies and transport them to the flood area. Moving on to the next goal, the goal number 2, Our team aimed to search for more volunteers and around the flood areas to assist and back up the frontliners. Our objective is to promote rescue flood victims events on social media to attract more volunteers to apply and work within their free time. Apart from this, we also aim to set up temporary shelters and treatment centers around the flood area as well as provide supplies and treatment for the injured victims. I have finished my part and now I will let Ms. Safika, the project secretary of this project, to present her part.
Thank you, Mr. Chan. My name is Nur Shafika as a project secretary for Team A. Now I will propose the benefit of the estimate and the benefit and the estimated budget of our project. The benefit of our project is to help reduce the loss of the flood victim by providing food, clothes, and daily supplies. The second benefit is the victim's health is assured and the injuries are recovered. And lastly is to alleviate the rescue team for the disaster. The estimated budget for our project is for the worker in finding sponsorship is 5,000 ringgit. For the rent fee for the big truck, boats and vans is 2,000 ringgit. For the material and tools to set up the temporary shelter is 20,000 ringgit. And for the awareness raising campaign event is 30 ringgit. And lastly, for the online platform support for the event is 2,000 ringgit. The total estimated budget for our project is 59,000 ringgit. That's all for my part. Now I would like to invite Ms. Ng Yuchi to present the promotion plan and the SWOT analysis.
Thank you, Shafika. I am Ng Yu-chi. As the member of Team A, I will be explaining about the SWOT analysis created by our team and the promotional plan that will be held within our project. The SWOT analysis is categorized as 4 aspects, which will be strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. First, the strength for this project is that Selangor is selected as our project's location because it is the worst affected area in this flood disaster. By focusing on the Klang area, this can help the highest number possible of victims within a short time. Besides that, a lot of giant companies are located at that area, thus providing more choices for the project in searching for sponsorships. However, the weakness mentioned will be lack of human resource and transportation due to the damaged road after flood disaster may lead to the failure of this project. The opportunities of this project is that donation centers are set on high densely populated areas to encourage more donations and sponsorships from different agencies and the public community. Lastly, the threats found in this project would be shut down in several transportation systems, cut down in electricity around the flood area, and budget reduction may slow down or even cause the project unable to execute. Next will be the promotional plan proposed for this project. At first, the project team will spread the project details using social media platforms such as Instagram and Twitter to search for volunteer and donations such as food, clothes, and medicines. Followed by the plan that our team will be organizing a campaign to raise public awareness and also collect donations to help the victims. Last but not least, our project team will create posters and brochures to be distributed to the public. That's all from me, and now I will be giving back this session to the chairperson, Mr. Lim.
Okay. Interesting ideas by Team A. Now, let's proceed to the proposal of Team B.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson. Greetings, everyone. I am Ashwini, the project manager of Team B. I would like to propose Team B's project titled Spreading Smile for the Children, which aims to help orphaned children of Bahagia Orphanage. I will explain the needs of this project. It is said that in Malaysia, there are an estimated 64,000 children who live in childcare institutions in registered and unregistered governments and private orphanages. And the government has identified a total of 4,696 children who are being orphaned due to the COVID-19. The main reason for children in these orphanages is because of poverty, in which their living parents are unable to take care of them. So there is a need to find sponsorships to provide funds, education, and food for the orphans. Thus, we have decided to propose Spreading Smile for the Children's program to be held in Kuala Terengganu. The duration of this project is 2 days, which start on 10th of February 2022 and end on 11th of February 2022. The number of required facilitators is 30 people. Next, there are 4 main collaborators in this project who are UMT Community Service Group, Citizen of Kuala Terengganu, Maidin Mohamed Sendian Berhad, and Persatuan Pembangunan Siswa Malaysia. These collaborators play a role to provide care and entertain the children, sponsor foods and stationeries, and to provide scholarship for the potential children. Now, let's look on the SWOT analysis, which consists of strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. First, for the strength of this proposed project is the location. Kuala Terengganu is an ideal location as there are many residents living there with a well-known university. The citizens and university students are all kind and loving, thus they will be committed to this project. However, there are 2 weaknesses that we are figure out. There is a possibility of having a time constraint to conduct these activities, as university students are mostly preparing for their finals as the semester is near to the end. Moreover, some participants may be shy and feel helpless when dealing with children. Next, the opportunity is to gain sponsorship of food and stationeries from different organizations. Last but not least, there are 3 threats, which are budget reduction, unsupportive organization, and misbehaved children. That's all from me. Next, I would like to invite Ms. Suvitra, the project assistant from Team B, to present the goals, objectives, and promotional plan of this project.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson and Ms. Ashwini. As project assistant of Team B, I would like to explain about the goals and objective of our project. Our first goal is to find sponsorship that can provide fun, education, and food for the orphan children. The objective is to search for scholarship with school and colleges to convenience the management to provide educational support to the children. Moreover, to set up online donation for funding in social media. Our second goal is to create a positive, loving, and caring environment for the orphan children at the home. The objective is to search for NGOs that can help the children by providing basic facilities and fixing the damaged infrastructures. Besides, also to provide emotional support by listening to their stories and have some fun activities to cheer the children up. Next is promotional plan proposed in our project. First, we plan to use the social media platforms such as Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook to find sponsorship. Secondly, we decided to create a poster and distribute it on social media as well to collect donations. Third, plan to organize a campaign in Kuala Terengganu to raise public awareness regarding the needs for orphan children and also collect some donation. I have done my part. Now let's have Ms. Shaira, the project secretary for Team B, to present her part.
Thank you, Ms. Subitra. My name is Shahira. I am a project secretary for Team B. I will present the estimated budget and the benefit of this project. For the operational cost, we will provide the food that costs ringgit for 60 units, the cooking product for 12 months that costs 4,800 ringgit, the stationery cost for 1,500 for 30 units, properties for fun activity that costs 80 ringgit, and lastly, the gift that costs 120 ringgit for 30 units. The grand total for this project is 7,100 ringgit. Next, the benefit of this project are the children will feel happy and love to receive proper care and attention from surrounding people. Secondly, The children will gain more insight of the outside world and will be excited for their future. Lastly, the mental health of the children will be better after having fun with the volunteers. That's all from me. Now I will give back this session to Mr. Chairperson.
Okay, thank you to Team B. This is also a very interesting idea. So, now let's have a discussion on which proposal should we proceed. Is there anything that Team A would like clarification from Team B?
Excuse me, Mr. Chairperson, I would like to clarify some question to the Team B. So, for Team B, in your promotional plans, I saw your team intend to organize campaigns in Kuala Terengganu. I want to ask, why do you pick this place instead of other places?
Thank you for the questions, Mr. Chan. As I have mentioned in SWOT analysis, University Malaysia Terengganu is located nearby Kuala Terengganu. So there are local residents and university students who could help distribute donations and make this project a success. Therefore, we decided to organize campaigns in Kuala Terengganu. Thank you.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I have a question for Team B2. You mentioned that there are 30 people that will be the facilitators for this program, but I realized that there is no budget specialized for them. When I look at the operational cost in your project proposal, what benefits would they gain if they join your program?
As I stated earlier, by organizing this program, we could put a big smile on their face and it could make our day better. The children deserve all the happiness and joyness. That's my answer. Thank you.
Okay, is that okay? So it seems like there is no more questions given by Team A. So now, is there anything that Team B wish to have clarification from Team A?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Yep.
Team A, can you justify what is the need for RM5000 for the worker in finding sponsorship? Won't those funds be better if spent on the victims?
Thank you for the question, Ms. Suvitra. I will clarify the answer. The high funds were assigned to this task considering the employment of worker in this task, as well as the expenditure involved. For example, fee for traveling abroad, the transportation fee, and so on. That's my answer. Thank you.
Sorry to interrupt. I have another question to ask Team A. As I noticed that in the objective part of Team A mentioned earlier that to search for volunteers, while there are social media platforms and volunteers to help, do you still prefer to pay the workers in finding sponsorship with high pay rates?
Well, in my opinions, volunteers can't replace every worker in every domain. There are still some empty space that require professional people to complete. So from our team discussion, we think that reserving some budget to employ some workers is vitally important in considering there may be urgent employments during the midway of the project.
Okay. It seems that there is no more questions from Team A. So now, before we proceed to voting, is there is there anyone who wish to share your opinions on which proposal that you support more?
Yes, in my personal opinion, I will be supporting proposal A. This is because this flood disaster had been occurred recently and caused huge amount of loss for the citizens. So I think we have to conduct this project to save them from suffering as soon as possible. Thank you.
Sorry to interrupt. I want to state my opinion. In my opinion, I prefer to go with the proposal of Team B because children are the ones that will be the future leaders to shape the country, and thus this is more important. Thank you.
I also would like to add my opinion, Mr. Chairman. In my opinion, Team A is too risky to be held by university students to commit themselves in a huge project in such a short period of time. Therefore, I stick with Project Team B because we should give more attention to the orphans' home and support the children in terms of education and finance.
Sorry to interrupt, but I think that the proposal from Team A is not planned as a huge project as it is aimed to provide any possible assist that can be done as a university student for the flood victims.
Okay. Thanks for the opinion from both sides of the Team A and Team B. As this is getting very heated and interesting. So before that, I would like to ask, is anyone, let's now have a vote to decide on which project should we proceed. Okay, so please raise your hand if you prefer the project proposal from Team A that we should proceed afterwards. Okay, so we have the votes from Miss Ng Yuchi and Intan. Okay, so next, please raise your hand if you prefer the project proposal from Team B. So we have Shuvitra, Ashwini, Shafika, Chan Junyam, and Shahira. So thank you everyone for the voting. Based on the voting, I believe that spreading smile for the children, which is also the proposal for Team B, have the number of majority. So I wish that everyone to work together for this proposal to make this a success. And for the next meeting, I wish that everyone will report their progress on their engagement with the collaborators, donation seeking progress, activities during the event, and ways to seek for volunteers. So now, before the ending of the meeting, I would like to propose the next meeting date to be held, which is on the 10th of January, 9 p.m. Is everyone okay with the date and time? If it's not okay, please raise your voice right now. Okay,
Okay.
okay. Thank you. Thank you for your supporting. Okay, so since there's no objection, our next meeting will be held on that day, 9 p.m. lah. Okay, so thank you all for participating in the meeting today and see you all again in the next meeting.